Today we are going to talk about overthinking, what overthinking is, and overthinking thoughts, what we typically overthink about. We're also going to get into certain ways of how we can stop overthinking and how it affects us, the psychology behind it, what it's really doing to impact our lives, and how we can resolve it. But first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jackie. I am a certified life coach. I have 2 degrees in psychology, a bachelor's and a master's. This is my first video on YouTube, so if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share it with some people that you think it could help, because we really want to get the message out. Everyone experiences overthinking at some point in their life, so we want to let people know how they can move past it. Also, if you want to find me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Jackie_the_life_coach, and my TikTok is Jackie the Life Coach. So with that, let's get into it. So first, we're going to talk about what overthinking means. Everyone just throws this term around, and everyone overthinks at some point of their lives. So let's break it down. We have the word over and we have the word think. Much like the word itself is what it means. You're just thinking things over and over in your brain, and you're just over-analyzing different parts of your life, but to the point where it becomes stressful. It's not a good thing. Like, yay, I'm using my brain, I'm smart, I'm thinking. No, it's something very negative, thinking very negative thoughts, and you're causing your brain to go down these spirals of overthinking, and it does nothing. The effects of overthinking are detrimental. They're not good. It's not good for the soul. It's not good for the mind. It's not good for the body. It causes stress, sadness. It could lead into anxiety, depression if it keeps getting worse, if you lose control of it. So we have to make sure we put a stop to it. You don't deserve this, right? You deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to be feeling those negative, stressful things that come with overthinking. Overthinking typically happens at night as well. I know a lot of you can relate to this, because when you're laying down trying to fall asleep, our minds like to wander. And this is how overthinking can commonly start. You could think back on your day, think of something you might have regret saying, think of something you might have done at work. Maybe you think you haven't worked hard enough. It could just spiral from there. It could become bigger things like, what if I never get married? What if I never meet the love of my life? What if I never am able to have kids? It could get real dark real quick. So just know, if you're overthinking a night before you fall asleep, you're not alone, because this is so common. Overthinking doesn't just affect us, it could affect people around us as well. It could affect our relationships, because you could overthink a relationship because that's what your brain is used to doing about everything, right? You could think, oh my gosh, did I say something to offend this person? And then it could go from there. Does this person hate me? Is this person mad at me? So my main coaching niche is overthinking in romantic relationships, how overthinking can affect your love life, because this is something that impacted me for years in mine. But this could happen in all relationships, friendships, familiar relationships, romantic relationships, dating in the beginning phases, whatever it is. Overthinking can kill and destroy your happiness. So we gotta put a stop to it. I'm gonna give you some tips on how to do that. So before we get into how to resolve overthinking, I wanna talk about where it comes from. Like, how does it come from our brains? Obviously, it comes from our brains, but why? Why do I overthink every single little thing? The answer is not black and white, and it differs for everyone, but overthinking is commonly associated with anxiety, because our little friend anxiety loves to create drama in our brain and instigate these negative overthinking spirals. You get anxious and you just start overthinking and you can't stop. But overthinking is not always associated with mental illness. Like I said, everyone overthinks. And I want to use this to transition into an example of someone in my life who was overthinking and who inspired me to make this video, who does not have any mental illnesses, and how I was able to help him work through it and resolve it, and how you can use these tips to do the same for yourself. So just to give you some context, I live with my boyfriend. His name is Gennaro, and this is the person I helped with their overthinking recently. We were talking about my coaching business, and he's in marketing, so he was trying to help me with that side of the business world, and he was asking about what I coach about to break down anxiety and overthinking further. So I gave him my definition and what I perceive anxiety and overthinking to be, which I talked about the definition of overthinking earlier in this video. But he said, you know what? I think I have anxiety. And I was like, well, everyone gets anxious about situations. Everyone gets situational anxiety. So I was like, what's going on? Like, I live with you. I feel like I would know if you have anxiety, especially as someone who's experienced it for years. And he proceeded to tell me how every night he goes down this rabbit hole and goes down this path of thinking stressfully about work, thinking he didn't get enough done. I stepped back and I said to him, you don't have to do this. And that's why I want to make this video, because if you're going through something similar, whether it's thoughts about work, your relationship, your family, your friends, whatever's stressing you out in your life, if you have daily, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, like overthinking spirals about this thing, it doesn't have to be that way. And I'm going to tell you some quick ways to shift your mind through this. So my first piece of advice to him was to tell him to say no to these thoughts. That's easier said than done, right? But once you start doing it and practice it, the more you do it, your brain's going to naturally turn off these thoughts and go to happier ones. So I said, when these thoughts come up at night, just say, you know what? I'm not going to think about that right now. It might not work the first few times. You might just not be able to avoid it because you're just not used to stepping into your power and taking control of your overthinking. But I'm telling you, the more you practice it and shut it down, the more you'll succeed. And I'm speaking from experience because, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, I suffered from anxiety and overthinking bad for years, and I dug myself out of that hole and I found my power and I stepped into it. And now I still experience waves of anxiety and overthinking about negative things and stressors, but I know what to do to work myself out of it. You know, another thing I do, you're not experiencing this at nighttime. I love exercising and getting my stagnant energy flowing. If you're overthinking and stressed, moving around and just walking around is something that could alleviate this. Another thing I told him to do, and something I talked through with him, is something I also do with my clients, the worst case scenario exercise. So we kind of talked about what specifically he's stressed about. What if he were to get in trouble at work, the worst that can happen. So we talked through it and he was like, oh, like he realized he wouldn't even get in trouble. He just was in his own head because he knew he had to go to sleep soon to wake up in the morning. And I said to him, it doesn't have to be this way. And I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be this way. Anyone can do this. We have more control of our thoughts than we realize. But that's why I want to make this video, because a lot of us just cruise through life thinking our thoughts have to control us when we can control our thoughts. Overthinking kills your happiness. It destroys it if we let it take over. So I wanted to tell you these methods you could start to use to conquer your own overthinking stressors. If you would like one-on-one support with this, if you need a little more help like I did back in the day, feel free to reach out. I do offer one-on-one coaching and I would love to help you because, like I said, I experienced this for years, so I'm a pro at this point in working out of it. Before we wrap it up, I wanted to tell you one more thing you could do on your own to conquer your overthinking, and that's realize where you're placing your energy. Your thoughts have energy behind them. If you don't want your energy to go towards something negative that you're stressed about in your life, such as being stressed at work, being stressed in your relationship, being stressed because you think someone's mad at you, it doesn't have to. Actively take that energy from these overthinking spirals, put them somewhere else. Put them somewhere positive. Think of something you love. Think of your goals and what you're working towards. Put it there. Start brainstorming new ideas for your goals. Whatever it is, you have the power to change it, and you are so powerful, and you don't deserve to feel all the negative symptoms that come with overthinking. You don't deserve to feel the stress and sadness. You deserve to feel the joy and happiness. Another symptom of overthinking is that it takes you away from the present moment. You're so in your head, you don't even know what's happening around you. And this can take away from feelings of joy, love, time with people because you're so focused on whatever you're stressed about. You deserve to feel those feelings of joy and love and happiness. So step into your power today. You deserve not overthink negative things. You deserve to think positive things. And you deserve to be happy and control of your thoughts, and you have the power to. Everyone does. I want to thank you for watching. I really hope it helped, and if it did, remember, like and subscribe and share it with some people that you think it could help. Everyone struggles with this. We may just be unaware of it, but once you're aware of it, you could realize how much better your life can be when you start to turn it around. I also have a quiz that assesses your overthinking, so if you're interested in gaining more insight on how much you really overthink, head over to the link in my bio to check that out. And I just hope you have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you may be doing. I really genuinely hope that this helped you.